Emma Himes spent her summer in a loft space in Brooklyn, New York, working alongside other college and high school students who are motivated by a common theme: what makes Generation Z tick? Emma is the Director of Development for JÜV Consulting, a Gen Z consulting firm run by real Gen Zers, typically kids between 10 and 21 years old. Lots of companies, nonprofits, and big brands want to know how to appeal to today's youth. Since they're living it every day, Emma and her entrepreneurial JÜV teammates offer deep insight into the Gen Z zeitgeist. And as a recent article in the New York Times pointed out, they not only bring experience to their clients' boardrooms, JÜV Consulting also has an impressive business and marketing edge. Emma, who is a sophomore at the University of Pennsylvania, joins us in the Knowledge at Wharton studio to discuss why businesses and brands should be talking to teenagers and not about them. Emma, welcome to KWHS. It's great to meet you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
So tell us how you got involved with JÜV Consulting and also a little bit more about what it is.
Right, so like you said, JÜV Consulting is a marketing consultancy firm, and we have teams of consultants who we pair with brands, companies, anyone trying to market to Gen Z. Our clients, we pair them with these teams to build out marketing campaigns that target Gen Z. And so this summer, like you said, I was Director of Development. I actually started as a consultant at JÜV, where I was for a year, and then I had previously met our co-founder, Ziad, who kind of runs the branding side of JÜV Consulting. And so he brought me on to do outreach and a couple other things this summer. So that was very cool, yeah.
That's great. Help us understand a little bit more about what a Director of Development does.
So this summer, what I was focused on doing was doing outreach to clients. So that meant sending hundreds and hundreds of emails to potential clients. And then once they responded, I handled the initial negotiations. So that was anything from explaining our capabilities to writing up SOWs to help them kind of get moving on the process. And then the second thing I did was help with market research and a business development plan, which we kind of finished this summer.
Well, that's great. And I can't let you go off this topic without telling us a little bit how it was to be in Brooklyn, to be working in this cool space with young people. I mean, did you enjoy it? Was it fun?
Right. So we were all living and working out of a loft in Brooklyn, and it was such a cool group of people. I miss them. I haven't seen them in a couple weeks, and it's already like I'm missing them. But it was I think it was really important, especially as a startup. It was so important for us to be there all the time. We would have midnight sessions where someone would come up with an idea and wake everyone up and say, we're going to work on this now, and everyone would just be so excited about it because we were so passionate about what we were doing.
Oh, that's great. So you had that whole complete picture, 24 hours a day, right?
Yeah. We ate pasta together at night. We woke each other up at 9, which was hard to do. But yeah, it was a really great experience.
Terrific. So I was looking over your social media, and I noticed that a recent JÜV tweet said that Gen Z is SpongeBob memes and ironic dabbing, offbeat vines and Drake lyrics as Instagram captions. Gen Z is also inclusive, dynamic, multifaceted, and diverse. We're changing the world bit by bit, and this is only just the beginning. I love this tweet because, I mean, it explains that Gen Z is so many things, but really, I need to ask you, what is the essence of Generation Z?
Right. So we talk a lot about this at JÜV. What is the essence of Gen Z? And I think one of the important things to remember is it's really hard to call Gen Z one single essence because we're not a monolith. And we are, we're the last generation that's going to be majority Caucasian. We are such a diverse generation that it's really hard to talk about essence. But I would say one of the most important things, at least when we talk to clients about how to talk to Gen Z, how to market to Gen Z, is authenticity. Whether that's on social media or in their marketing campaigns, being authentic to the value of whatever your brand or company is so important. So I think that's at least one of the things I would say is important to the essence of Gen Z.
What do you see as one of the biggest mistakes that companies make when they're marketing to Generation Z, other than that lack of authenticity? Specifically, I know I mentioned this in the beginning, but I said, talk to us, not about us. And I remember reading something else about how you say that, we're much more about kind of the collective we and not just I. So what are some of the ways that you see companies are maybe taking a misstep?
So one of the reasons that our three co-founders founded JÜV Consulting was because they kind of saw that companies were doing all this market research, doing focus groups, and by the time all this research was processed and aggregated into a marketing plan, it was obsolete. You know, our social media trends change so fast that it's hard to do a focus group and get the right answers in time to develop a proper marketing plan. So we thought, why not just create a group chat, 10 teenagers, some marketing executives, and have them real-time bounce ideas off of us. So I think that's one of the main issues, is that companies are trying to market to Gen Z, which is impressive in and of itself, but they're going about it the wrong way.
Right. And also that just things are moving so quickly, and I'm sure technology plays a hand in that.
Right, for sure. I think social media is making everything so fast. Even like I'm in college right now, I'm going to classes. I find it hard to keep up with the trends. We actually had someone in our Brooklyn office, Jacob, he was our director of, I think he was director of our trends. And his job was to just monitor Gen Z trends. That's what he was doing. Because, you know, our CEO, Ziad, he's not checking Twitter every 30 seconds to see where social media is headed, where the new memes are. So that was his job, which I think it's hilarious and so important because it's something that needs to be monitored.
Oh, absolutely. That's a great job.
Yeah,
It sounds like a lot of fun.
Right.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about why it's so important for the world to understand your generation. I mentioned at the beginning that you're going to change the world, right? That was in the tweet. So how are you going to change the world?
Right, so I think Gen Z is different, mostly because we're the first generation to grow up immersed in technology. And I think that's one of the most important ways that we're going to change the world because we understand it. We are social media natives. And then the second thing I'd say is, you know, we're coming to age at a time where a lot of issues have been pushed off, and I think they are going to be issues that we have to deal with as a generation. Whether it's global warming, political polarization, inequality. I think these are all issues that we as a generation are going to have to deal with. So I hope that's how we change the world. I hope we can deal with those issues.
And is that what you're hearing from, you know, your peers? Are people really engaged and passionate about these issues?
Yeah, so I think one of the other interesting things we talk about Gen Z as being different is we are really focused on corporate social responsibility. So when we're looking for jobs, if there are two companies and one is interested in the same causes we're interested in and the other isn't, it's more likely we will go to that company that supports things that we're interested in. So I think that's what kind of sets us apart from previous generations and also shows that we are engaged in the world around us and the issues that we will have to deal with.
Can you give me an example of a company you've worked with, even if you just talk about it in generality? But I would love to know what a day in the life of, or even just when you actually go into that boardroom, how you're helping somebody who's, you know, not a Generation Zer understand who you are. What are the specific things you're doing?
Right. So we recently started working with a social media startup, and one of the things we're doing with them is we pair them with a team of consultants. So that's made up of a senior partner, a junior partner, and 8 to 10 consultants. And we're still hiring for anyone watching. And so they have both a Slack group chat and they have feedback reports that they give. So this social media company will develop an image or develop an idea, and they'll run it by them. And these consultants and then the senior partners kind of finalize the feedback reports, will react to it, say what they think, say if they think other people will like it. So that's one of the main things we do. We also do things like campus activations. Companies have really been interested in that because we spent a lot of our summer developing our network and hiring consultants, and I think we did a really good job getting a pretty diverse group from a lot of different places. So those are two of the things we do.
What exactly is a campus activation?
So that could be, let's say, an ice cream company wants to come to Penn and do a little stand, an event where students are coming and posting on social media about it and trying the ice cream. So it's kind of engaging a population of Gen Z.
Okay, great. All right, that's perfect. So I want to know a little bit more about you. What are you studying here at U of Penn, and what are your aspirations? You sound very entrepreneurial. Do you hope to get into business eventually?
Yeah, so I am a sophomore at Penn. I'm studying economics and international relations. As for what I'm doing at Juve right now, I'm still doing my outreach role. I'm still director of development. I'm also building out an advisory board, which has been really cool because I'm kind of talking to a lot of the marketing experts in the field, which is really interesting. And then as for maybe when I'm a little older, I actually really enjoyed doing the business development and market research that I did this summer. So I'm hoping to do something similar to that. But like I said, I'm still a sophomore. We'll see. I'm enjoying the work I'm doing. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. It sounds like you've gotten a lot of new skills from your experience.
Definitely.
So tell me, what is an important influential Gen Z trend or trends on the horizon that you think maybe we all should know about?
Okay, this is a hard one. This is a hard one. There are a lot of
They're
trends.
changing quickly,
They're
right?
changing fast.
Oh, well,
yeah.
tell me a couple then.
Yeah. I'll talk about one that I really like. So Wendy's on Twitter is really, really good. So there's this new trend where companies are engaging with customers or even other competitor companies as if they're an individual on Twitter. So Wendy's will engage in banter with customers and other competitors. And it's just, like I said, it's the authenticity, just because it kind of makes this huge Wendy's company seem like a single person.
Right, okay.
Which is really
Makes them
funny.
more relatable, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
more relatable.
No, my last question for you would be just the future of JÜV Consulting. I mean, you just mentioned that you're hiring more help and that you've had this great team of high school students and college students for the summer. Where do you think it's headed? Is this going to be like a legit business? Am I allowed to use that word?
I think you are, yeah. So
Okay.
we are a legit business to anyone
Okay.
watching. Let's just make sure.
Yes.
But so we are continuing to hire. We've been onboarding a lot of clients because we've gotten a little bit of press recently. So we are still hiring. And one of the things that I think is really important that we do is social impact. So we are really cognizant of the fact that the people who are seeking out jobs to, consult for Gen Z probably aren't representative of the entire population. So what we do is we also do partnerships with underserved youths and people in places that we might not traditionally reach. So I think we're going to develop that a little more in the coming months, which I think is really exciting and important.
It sure is. Well, thank you very much for your time today.
Yeah, thank you so
It's
much
nice
for
meeting
having
you.
me. You too.
For more insight from Knowledge at Wharton, please visit knowledge.wharton.upenn.edu.